Did TV shows, it's time to do movies. So these are the movies I watched from 2024. Again, I watched a lot of old movies this year, but we don't count those. We count the movies that came out this year that I watched. So, again, they are in order of release. So, The Beekeeper. I did not watch The Beekeeper until much later, but I heard about how good it was, so I wanted to watch it. And I got on a bit of a Jason Statham kick this year. And I watched a bunch of Jason Statham movies. And I'm like, yeah, I'll watch The Beekeeper. The Beekeeper it's a Jason Statham movie. And that's all I want it to be. It's just a guy who goes and kills a bunch of people. Do I need more? Really? I don't need more. It's great. It's a real fun. If you are just in the mood for some sweet action, fun revenge movie, that's what The Beekeeper is, and I love it. It's real good. Something that's not real good is Argylle. This is a subversive piece of garbage. Easy D. I can't say F because there is some good ideas. Like the idea of, you know, a spy who loses their memory and then ends up making books based off of their adventures. Like subconsciously remembers the adventures, but as like a book for a spy series. That's fun. But notice how they have Henry Cavill at the front here. You would think he's the main character. He's not. He's barely in the movie. Henry Cavill is the imaginary spy, Argylle. The real spy, Argylle, is Bryce Dallas Howard, who is a dumpy, fat girl in this movie. Like, you expect me to believe that's the top spy that all these agents are after? They want to know everything about her? No. Goddamn no way. There's points in this movie that just border on the lines of, like, I can't suspend my disbelief. That is a stupid thing you've just done. I'm more pissed of how subversive and clickbaity it was, making you think Henry Cavill is going to be this big role in the movie, and he gets nothing. He's just, like, the image, the projection of Argylle. It's awful. There's good twists in there, like her parents. That's a good twist. I liked that one. But no, I'll never forgive this movie for what it did. 5 out of 10. Maboroshi on Netflix. It's one of the Netflix anime movies that they do. I give it a C. It's okay. It's very like reality distorting, kind of wibbly wobbly type of movie. It's fine. Like it's not a bad movie. It's good. You know, you can kind of piece together who the girl is that they're looking after. You can kind of piece that together really quick. But it's still fun. Like, I enjoyed the movie. I really did. So, C, though. It's like a 6.5. It's fine. It's a good movie. Another movie that's a 6.5 is Spaceman. It's another Netflix movie. This one with Adam Sandler. It's Adam Sandler actually acting and giving a real emotional performance here. As he plays a spaceman sent out to space, and while he's alone in space, he comes to, you know, he's alone, he's got time to think, and he thinks about, you know, bad relationship he's in with his wife, you know, how he's been to people, all that type of stuff. It's really good. 6.5 out of 10. Dune Part 2 was the first movie of the year. Because I watched The Beekeeper after I watched Dune. I watched Beekeeper much later than when it came out. But Dune Part 2 was the first movie where I'm like, that's a good movie right there. I liked it. I watched Part 1 before Part 2. I watched Part 1, and then the next day I went and saw Part 2. This was good. This was really good, man. Dune Messiah is next. I look forward to that. I do hope... I did not like Chani in this, though. And from what I understand, it's because they changed Chani a lot from the books. You know, in this one, she doubts Paul quite a bit. But in the book, she's, like, staunchly loyal. Like, no, I understand why you're doing what you're doing. I'm here with you to the end. But in this one, she goes off because she's disgusted at what Paul's become, and she goes and rides a worm because feminism. Yeah, and Zendaya's just not. I don't think she's a good actress at all. They keep trying to make her happen, but I don't like Zendaya. But other than that, man, I like the story. I'm interested. I love Dune Part 1. Dune Part 2 is great. Easily watch both these movies. I can easily watch both these Dunes and just be like content. Like, this is great. Love it. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, I give a 7. This was the Henry Cavill action movie I wanted Argyle to be, but it was this. This was really good. It's set in World War II. And it's just fun, man. It's just a World War II action movie with a group of assassins that are tasked. It's like a Suicide Squad thing. If they die, the government doesn't care. But if they succeed, hey, hey, you know, good behavior stuff. I believe it's real good. I found it fun. 7 out of 10. It's nothing crazy. It's just a nice action movie, which in the world we live in now, this movie probably, like, if this movie was released like 10 years ago, it would have gotten like 6, but the world we live in now, it's a 7 because it's just a dumb action movie. And that's like way better than half the slop that comes out nowadays. We've got The Fall Guy, which I loved. I loved Fall Guy. This is what I want from a movie, man. It's an action movie with funny moments, likable characters. There's a little romance subplot. It's got a masculine male lead with a romantic love interest who's not an obnoxious piece of shit. She doesn't try and like subvert and take over the movie. She's good in her own way without trying to replace him, right? Well, he's the action stunt man. She's the film writer, director, all that type of stuff. And I love it. Like, I love Fall Guy. This was great. I love this movie so much. This is what I want. This is what I want from a movie. This is like legitimately, it's an 8 out of 10, but like this is what I want from a movie. A masculine, fun action hero who's at the end of it all, right? Through all his trials and tribulations, at the end of it, everything works out and he gets the girl at the end. That's what I want, man. Garfield! I liked this movie. Give it a B. I liked the Garfield movie. I watched it around Thanksgiving. That's when it came to streaming. I liked it. It was fun. It was real fun. I know the joke is like, oh, Chris Pratt, I thought he did fine as Garfield. The jokes were fun. Yeah, it's just a nice movie. That's all I can say. This is a nice fun family movie, you know? The Bike Riders, which is not a nice fun family movie, I give it a 6. It's not bad, but it's more like a biographical thing. It just wasn't really my full cup of tea. I was interested when I saw the trailer in theaters, which I went to go watch The Fall Guy, and I saw this trailer. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. And then I watched it, I'm like, Like, I spaced in and out at times while watching this, you know? Like, I'm on my phone at times while watching it, and that's not a good thing, but... yeah, it's okay. It's okay. All the actors and performances are fantastic. It's just not fully my cup of tea. Despicable Me 4. Yeah, I really like Despicable Me 4. Put that up there. It was fun. One of the few movies I saw in theaters this year. It was real good. I did not like, I will say, the one point of this movie I did not like was Gru getting, like, blackmailed by a preteen. You mean to tell me this man who was, like, one of the most notorious villains, and then was, like, one of the division's top, the AVL's top spies, right? Gets blackmailed by a little girl, and he's just, like, her bitch boy. You know what I mean? Like, that's the stuff I'm like, And again, it probably isn't that maliciously intended, but it's because of the world we live in. I see that, and I get the red flags, right? Like, the sirens go off in my head. And Gru getting beat up for pretty much the entirety of the final fight with his son was... I'm like, come on, man. This is the hero, and he's, like, getting his ass kicked pretty much the whole fight. Right? Like, that's the stuff I'm like, come on now. Like, Gru from Despicable Me 1? You're telling me he's getting his ass kicked? Despicable Me 1 Gru? The guy who like just knocked off all of Victor's defenses like they were nothing, and he punched the shark. He took a rocket ship to the moon to save his daughters. Like, Gru from Despicable Me 1 would have easily kicked this guy's ass. And in Despicable Me 4, he gets his ass kicked. Nah, don't know about that. We then have, I put it all together, which is the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths animated movie. This is nothing like the comic, which sucks. It's not bad. I give it like a B. This is the trilogy, right? Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, all in one. Part 2 is a fucking mess. Part 1's a decent introduction. Part 2 is a fucking mess. And Part 3 is the best part because it wraps it all up. But, like, at the end for the Tomorrowverse, you can tell that in this movie, there's stuff in this that's like, yeah, this would have gotten a movie of its own. Or they would have explored this plot point a hell of a lot more if they had time and James Gunn hadn't, like, reset everything. And they were just kind of told at the end, yeah, you guys got to wrap this up now. But we don't have all these plot points finished. Yeah, you got to wrap this up now. But it does have a cool Kevin Conroy cameo at the end of Part 3, which is good. Yeah. It's a mess, though. Twisters! Again, this is another movie that I probably never would have watched, but because of the world we live in now and all the dumb old action movies I saw this year, I'm like, I'll give Twisters a shot. I watched the first Twister. Not my thing. Didn't really like it. This one, again, it's like, eh. I like it more than Bike Riders. And yeah, I think Maboroshi and Spaceman are better than Twisters. But it's just a dumb action movie. It's a disaster movie. You know, it's fun. But again, I won't lie and tell you, I wasn't on my phone at times. Then we have Deadpool 3. This is easily A tier. The best thing Marvel's done in years. Bar none. The best thing Marvel's done since Infinity War. No, best thing Marvel's done since No Way Home, I would say. But I'm souring on No Way Home as I go on. But yeah, real good. Like I was like, this is the movie where I'm like, please don't end. I'm loving this. This is good though. I fucking loved it. And if this is a sign of Marvel trying to change direction, good, but then they put out Agatha. And it's like, oh fuck. But Agatha was something that they made like years ago and they have to do out. But, you know, reportedly Marvel internally, they realized they fucked up and they are changing course correction. So they do have slop they have to put out though, like Agatha and Ironheart, where it's like we have to, and Captain Falcon Man, where it's like, fuck, we have to put this out. So, you know, there's that. And then Venom 3, The Last Dance. It's a dumb fucking movie, but yeah. Like, I can point out the plot holes all day on this thing, and I was pointing them out in theater. Like, that doesn't work. That doesn't make sense. Why are they doing that? But out of all, like, if you liked Venom 1, you thought Venom 1 was solid, you'll like this one. Venom 2 is a fucking mess. That's just not a good movie. But Venom 3, it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. Best part about doing something like this is that I can post-edit. Hello, I am here to post-edit and talk about some movies that I've seen after making this tier list, which you are now seeing on screen. So I will add them to this tier list after I talk about them. So I saw 3 more movies that I wanted to add to this. So they are Red 1, Carry On, and Sonic 3. So Red 1, let's talk about Red 1 first. Red 1 was fine. It hasn't done well at the box office, and that is probably mainly because it is a pure streaming movie that they should have just left to streaming, right? Just left to streaming at the beginning. You put it out on the beginning of December, put it on streaming for the holidays as a Christmas movie. It's fine. It's enjoyable. It's nothing crazy. It's just a fine movie. You know, The Rock plays The Rock. Chris Evans plays what he's kind of known for now, which is the wisecracking New Yorker. J.K. Simmons as Buff Santa is cool. He's great as Santa, by the way, because yeah, he's like a buff Santa and you know that, but he's not like hard. You know what I mean? Like he's still kind. He still is Santa. cares about the kids, spreading joy to all the children of the world. He reminds The Rock's character to not lose hope. You know, even though there's more naughty kids than nice kids, don't lose hope. There's always good in people. I liked that. And the whole plot, they introduced Krampus in the movie, which was cool. I liked Krampus. He felt like an intimidating threat. The witch, which I think her name is Gilda, is how she's pronounced. She's good. She's a fine threat. Her idea is that she wants to punish all the naughties. You know, everyone on the naughty list, she wants to punish them. Yeah, it's a fine movie. I give it a 7 out of 10. You know, so when it goes on this list, I would say that I give it a B. That's where Red One goes. Red One goes in B tier. The next movie is Carry On Netflix. So this falls in the category where it's not a Christmas movie. It just takes place at Christmas. You can substitute this for regular time, and it still works. This is just set at Christmas. Carry On, real good. It's basic premise, which is a guy who's airport security. He gets like an earpiece, and the guy says, "Look, I have information on you. I have information on your fiance. You're gonna let my guy in with whatever is in the case, and you're not gonna do a damn thing." And the guy, while he's talking to the, terrorist in his ear, is trying to talk to the terrorist, try and stop him without letting him on to what he's doing. Nice, fun action movie. It was real good. I give it an 8 out of 10. Like, seriously, really good movie. It had all I need. It's like Fall Guy. It had what I needed. Action, it had stakes, it was kind of tense, there was funny moments, there was a bit of romance with the main character and his girlfriend. And at the end of the day, what does he do? He wins, he gets the girl. We're all good. It's happy ending. Love it. 8 out of 10. So I'm going to put Carry On in A tier, I would say. That's where Carry On goes. A tier. And then we end it off with Movie of the Year. Without a question, this is my Movie of the Year. S tier movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I have done a review, so my full thoughts are in that review. Oh my god, this movie is gorgeous. I love it. As just a movie, like if I'm speaking not as a Sonic fan watching this, as just a movie, it's really good. It's just a really good movie. As a Sonic fan, that elevates this even more with all the callbacks and Easter eggs and just how much this respects the video games and the lore. Just all the stuff. Like, I was smiling ear to ear this whole movie. This is S tier. 9 out of 10. Beautiful. There's bits of the movie I don't like. Like, a lot of the Gerald and Eggman stuff I didn't find funny and I thought could have been cut. But for the most bit, yeah, it's great. Phenomenal. 9 out of 10. That's best movie of the year. So that's the movies I've seen this year put into a tier list. So we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is my favorite movie of the year with a 9 out of 10. Then we got an A tier, Dune Part 2, Fall Guy, Deadpool & Wolverine, and Carry On. So those are movies definitely to check out if you haven't seen them. And then B tier, those are movies you don't have to check out, but they're good to watch, which is, Beekeeper, Despicable Me 4, Ungentlemanly Warfare, Garfield movie, Crisis on Infinite Earths as a whole. That one I actually think you don't need to watch. And Red One. Red One is fun. So there you go. That's it. Those are the movies I've seen this year. That's it. So not a lot this year, to be honest, but this is the state of current Hollywood. Thankfully, 2025, with a big change in our world coming. Looks like it's going to be, might be a much better time. A much better time in Hollywood and media. Or we're going to go back to making good things because we want to entertain the audience rather than push an agenda. So there we go. What is your guys' favorite movies that you saw this year? Let me know in the comments down below. And that's it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.